We're still working on the Cobra and doing body work, but I had to take a pause because I ended up with a problem solved on the 66 Mustang. I am in the acquiring parts phase of the actual build for the 66 Mustang, and when there's a deal that comes along, I have to take advantage of it. Now, one of the issues I was having was the induction, the carburation of it. I've been toying with 4-barrel conversion and everything else, but I really want to do an OEM plus on this, and a 2-barrel might be nice, and it'd be different from stuff that I've done previously. So I acquired a carburetor used on eBay for a decent price, found a carburetor builder, which I'll get to that in just a moment. But one of the problems I was having was with the intake that I got with the car. This is the 2-barrel intake that came with the car. I started doing cleanup work on it, trying to get it ready to get some paint on it and do some other things until I noticed an issue with it. Now, of course, with this issue, I had to consider alternatives, and that's what led me to start considering the 4-barrel route. You'll notice this pan down here, we've got some pitting and rust holes. Not ideal. I don't exactly know how that would impact anything, but just simply the fact of knowing it's there would cause me pause. So I decided not to use this intake. It is a C6 casting, so it's a 289. And I can use the thermostat housing for it. Possibly this, although these are cheap, I might get a replacement for that. And if I decide I don't need any vacuum, I can use this plug on any new one that I find, and it's got some other usable parts on it. But because of those pinholes in the bottom of that pan, I opted not to use this. This is going to be a budget build. I really wanted to go with this route, but the problems that were being caused by that led me to consider multiple things. There are Chinese carburetors and Chinese intakes you can get on Amazon and other sources that I looked into. The reviews on them are just absolutely horrendous. Primarily one guy that I've watched quite a bit of, I think it's Tony's shop. I'll have to remember the name of the channel that it's on, and I do apologize to Tony for not remembering your channel. But he gives very good in-depth reviews on the Chinese carburetors, you know, the copies of Autolites, copies of Holleys and Edelbrocks and things like that. And one of the things he noted on them is they work perfectly fine as long as you keep a steady supply of fuel. In other words, keep it using the car. The nature of project cars is you don't drive them every day. Well, that kind of let out that. Then I started looking at the Edelbrock carburetors that I like, and I prefer the Edelbrocks over the Holleys simply because they're a lot more user-friendly and less to deal with. I understand Holleys have more performance value, but the Edelbrocks are easier for me to understand. So I was looking at that and an intake. Carburetor's pushing $500, intake's pushing $300. I'd be $1,000 in on that route, which kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm wanting to do with this, in addition to the fact that it's not stock to a C code. I put word out on a couple of local Mustang pages looking for an intake on it, and I actually reached out to a friend of mine who lives in Little Rock. Shout out to Jimmy Young, who is a part of Central Arkansas Mustangers, and he's actually a guy that I've known for many, many years. He's a fellow bass guitarist, and back in my days of managing a music store in Little Rock, or being sales manager, I didn't manage the music store, but I was a sales manager there. I actually became good friends with him because he's a fellow bass player. Well, I reached out to him, asked him if he knew anybody that was doing. He put some feelers out. He came up with this. Now, what I'm going to show you is after some cleaning, right? What you're seeing here are some pictures that he sent to me of the intake that he's done. Now, I've got this intake right now, and I've been doing some cleaning on it. It's in obviously better shape than the other one was. It is a C6 casting, 289, so all of this is proper. And as you can see, it's just in much, much better shape. And when you turn it over, the pan is in perfect shape. I've still got some cleanup to do under here, which I can do. It even came with this, which I didn't have with the other intake. A very necessary part, this spacer, which if you look on eBay, these go for anywhere from $39 up to, if on the more unreasonable people, they can ask a couple of $100 for them. But this spacer came with the deal as well. So that problem solved. And thanks to Jimmy and his connections with some very generous and wonderful people down in Central Arkansas, it didn't cost me anything. I just had to go get it. The guy that he got it from said that he was using it as a doorstop. These two-barrel intakes are not typically used by Mustang guys. They want the performance. I'm looking for something a little different. It perfectly suited my needs. It's going to do exactly what I wanted it to, and it didn't cost me anything. So as opposed to up to $1,000 in a 4-barrel induction system, I am now no money into this intake. I spent $50 getting a rebuildable carburetor and sent it off to this particular vendor right here. Take a look at the carburetor. Now, of course, part of this is the carburetor itself. The intake situation has been taken care of. I've got to clean it up. But this is the carburetor I acquired. It is missing a few pieces. The choke linkage is gone. And this piece here, the rod that connects this piece here, is missing. Other than that, this is complete. It just is in need of some love. And I am going to be sending it to this company here. National Carburetors in Jacksonville, Florida is going to be doing this. According to their website, rebuild and refurbishment and restoration of this carburetor is going to be in the neighborhood of an estimate around $250. I've got $50 in this carburetor, so that'd be $300 to take care of this. That included with the price of the intake is going to make a very nice, inexpensive deal that will maintain the integrity of the OEM Plus build that I'm doing on this Mustang. And after some scrubbing and some priming with high temp primer and some paint of Ford Blue, correct for the 66 model year, I think we've got something I can work with here. I am happy with this, very, very happy with this. Again, there's some parts off of the other intake I can rob to complete this intake, such as the plug if I need it, or I can put a nipple in for vacuum if I decide I need to vacuum. Bolts for the throttle linkage, things of that nature. But that cleaned up nicely. My firing order is present. Casting numbers are present. 289 identifier is present. That's going to look good. Now, of course, back on the Cobra, I've got the chassis pretty much cleaned up now. This is ready to go to the tuner, because as you can see, I've got the seats mounted in it. Got some cleaning up done. I've got some cleanup under the dashboard to clean up some of my wiring job and neaten that up a little bit. But this is ready to go to the tuner. I'm going to contact them this week and get to work on that. My plan going forward, as you can see, the Cobra has got body work started on it. I'm about to spread some filler. I've got the works of a video and that. That's going to be a long video, and it may take me a week or two to get that released because it's a lot of work, a lot of tedious work, and a lot of different takes and everything like that. So that's going to take some time, but that is underway. I'm going to continue operating under this mode. 32 is a waiting interior. I got the samples in today on the leather hides that I'm going to get. Very happy with what I found. I've got to order the hides, and as soon as there's a spot, that's going to interior. So this one is not going to have any work done on it in the foreseeable future until I get interior on it. The Cobra body work, that's underway. We're going to work towards getting that painted. I've got some items to buy, but we're going to do that. And as soon as I can, as we go along, I'm going to continue acquiring parts for the 66 Mustang, including this intake, to solve issues. That way, when it comes time to start really hitting the nail on the head and getting busy on that, we'll have the parts here necessary to do it. I will, of course, post either a short video or another video once the carburetor is returned. That way we can take a look at how the entire induction system looks, but I think this is going to work really well. Stick around, more to come. Cobra stuff next as well, because I am shooting video on bodywork. Be sure and stay tuned.